It's happening. The government is reducing immigration even further. A lot has happened. I'm in Ottawa right now, as you can tell, had some meetings with federal ministers to keep you informed and give you information from the source. So invest 10 minutes of your time in this video without any distractions, and trust me, you'll see the bigger picture on the way out. As always, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe if you're interested in this type of content. We're gonna start from the first point, which is the student visa cap for 2025. That will be 437,000. The change, student visa cap for 2025 is dropping to 437,000, a 10% reduction. The explanation, this cap will affect students applying for a student visa in 2025. And the goal of it is to manage the influx of international students. Example, if you wanted to come study in Canada, competition just got higher and it's going to be more difficult as the refusal rate will be higher as well. Who benefits from this? The Canadian housing market is already experiencing a drop in cities like Toronto, where rents are much lower compared to the same month last year in 2023. Who loses? Aspiring international students that want to come to Canada. It will be difficult in 2025 as the refusal rate will likely go up. We already see it in countries like India. Number 2, language exam for PGWP. Explanation, starting November 2024, you will require to take a language exam like IELTS to qualify for a PGWP. Explanation, college students will require a CLB 5 and university grads CLB 7 to get their postgrad work permit. Example, if you studied in Canada, theoretically it should be no problem because you wanted to school, you took classes, you spoke with their professors, but if you did not pay attention in class and you were not really here to study, this in theory should sort out the bad actors and those who were not genuine international students. Who benefits from this? Well, clearly it's the Canadian labor market because we would see lower numbers of PGWP holders, as in theory this filter should lower the number of applicants who get awarded their PGWP. Who loses from this? Well, clearly it's students that may excel academically, but in terms of language, they aren't there yet. And by the way, French is becoming huge if you're interested to increase your PR score and increase your chances through a category-based selection, the French category. I would highly recommend you start learning French now. We're partnering with one of the top 5 French schools in Quebec to help you achieve this goal specifically. The link will be in the description. Number 3, PGWP will be based on the program. Change. PGWP will no longer be given automatically. Explanation. Graduates from bachelor's, master's, and doctoral programs will still be eligible for a 3-year postgrad work permit, while college graduates will need to be in a labor shortage field to qualify for their PGWP. Who benefits? Again, Canadians, because they will have a much lower competition in the labor market. Who loses? Well, clearly it's the international students who will not have met the criteria when they apply for their PGWP and let's say end up in a field that's technically with no labor shortage. Number 4, SOWP restrictions for spouses. If your master's degree is less than 16 months long, your spouse will no longer qualify for the spousal open work permit. Explanation, this really targets the short-term programs, such as those who are studying in a 1-year master's program. Who benefits? Again, this will reduce the strain on the job market. Who loses? Most likely this will be families where one applicant is studying in a short-term master's and the other one, the spouse, cannot accompany on a work permit, as they don't qualify for a spousal open work permit. So let's say you go for a 1-year MBA program, it will not grant an SOWP to your partner as it would have previously to the policy. Number 5, SOWP restrictions on foreign workers. Change. Foreign workers in management and professional occupations will no longer be eligible to apply for SOWPs for their spouses. This even applies to the workers in labor shortage fields. Explanation. This policy will just further limit the number of foreign temporary workers and their spouses. Example, let's say you're a worker in the IT field and you're a manager, a pretty high-ranking position. You will no longer be able to bring in your spouse on a spousal open work permit. Instead, you will need to look into alternatives like having a visitor permit. Who benefits? Very similar to the previous policy. It's all about the local market. Canadians will have a lower competition because those foreigners will not be able to compete on a larger scale. Who loses? Well, I would say it's very clear at this point. People in management occupations which will not be able to leverage their spouses to bring in some extra income. Sounds pretty scary, right? Well, the good news is that there's some information that these policies will not affect the current international students or those who apply for their study permit before November of 2024. As always, if you need legal help, the links will be in the description to this video. And here's the conclusion you need to hear. The Canadian immigration system is changing as we know it, and that's why we have a special invitation for you. No immigrant is safe from the shifting tides of Canadian immigration. With rising CRS score, reduced provincial nominee spots, and shrinking PR targets, your path to permanent residency is at risk. The rules are changing fast, so how do you get ready? I'd like to invite you to join me at the Changing Immigration Order conference in Toronto this fall. Canada's top immigration lawyers, HR specialists, and experts will give you the knowledge and strategies to navigate these turbulent times and keep your legal status in Canada. The early bird tickets are limited. Register now and share with a friend who would benefit from this conference. If you'd like to register or for more information, simply click on the link in the description. As always, like this video if you got some value. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.